Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you here today with an article from Outkick dated February 24th. And I know I'm a bit late on this. Again, I got back from vacation recently, and this happened, I think, was February 24th was this past Monday that I'm recording this. I'm recording this on March 2nd. So this happened, when I was on vacation. So I didn't really have a chance to comment on it. So I thought this would be interesting thing to go over, and we have who will be the new worst person in television following Joy Reid's firing. And my first guess automatically goes to Sunny Hostin. I thought Joy Reid and Sunny Hostin are the two worst people on television. And just bad people all around. But let's get into it and see if she's one of the picks. I haven't actually read this article yet. It says MSNBC is in the process of firing Joy Reid. For years, Reid has held the mantle of worst person in all of television. She's probably still in a run and gun battle with Sunny Hostin on that, but I get that she's number one. Just don't take our word for it. Says the Outkick readers voted her the woke all-star champion last year. That's always a fun thing. If you don't know what that is, go see the article in the description below. The link is there, or at least the article, copy and paste it in your browser, and then go down here and click on that. It's pretty fun. It says no one, and we mean no one, spewed more racism and hatred on television than Reid. Here are some of her highlights, if that's what you call such incendiary bigotry. It's definitely not, but I get what you're saying. It says, we get it, whites are the devil. And insert, like, Billy Madison's, was it not Billy Madison? What's her face? It was Kathy Bates. It was, the water boy. God, that took too long for me to figure out water boy. And Kathy Bates being like, whites are the devil. Like she says, football is the devil. Yeah, that's what I hear there. Anywho, tangent aside, says, but with Reid soon on her way to blue sky heaven and probably writing guest columns on BET.com, the question begs, who will replace Reid as the worst person in all of television? We again asked the Outkick readers for their picks. Before you say Jim Acosta, remember that he was kicked out the door earlier this year by CNN, and he doesn't count. He would have been a good guess anyway. So far, Margaret Brennan is in the lead, and I'm not surprised by that, given the fact that she's just been caught in a bunch of lies recently. There's recasting the Holocaust last week as a consequence of free speech, which was the dumbest effing thing you can imagine. And if you haven't seen that, go watch it. If your eyes don't roll so far into the back of your head, you're actually looking at the back of your skull from the inside. I don't know what to tell you. It says, so she argued that the Holocaust was a consequence of free speech, seemingly in an attempt to argue that the U.S. should adopt similar speech laws to Germany and the U.K. We'll do that to you. No, that's not what happens. And thankfully, Marco Rubio in that conversation put her ass in her place. So it says, condescension has never looked good on adult. Hard to get more nasty and deliberately dishonest than Jen Psaki. Truly a disgrace to Americans, one reader said. Yeah, she's another one that's just horrific. Socialism, that's what it does to your brain. It says, and we are about to see more of her. Oh, fantastic. On Monday, MSNBC announced that Psaki would resume the 9 p.m. hour Tuesday through Friday after Donald Trump's first 100 days in office, when Rachel Maddow reverts to a once-a-week schedule. I don't know why Rachel Maddow's on the air either. She's not exactly like a shining beacon of positivity or anything. Sticking with MSNBC, the channel will replace Reid at 7 p.m. with the trio of Sanders Townsend, Michael Steele, and Alicia Menendez. Steele, a former member of the Republican National Committee, I think he was the chairman, I thought, at one point, it says, he was one of the chief protagonists of the Trump faked his assassination hoax. It says, keep an eye on him, he'll fit right in. Says, Keith Olbermann, oh wait, never mind, said another reader. Yeah, I don't think another station's going to touch him, and plus I think he was on MSNBC for years, and they fired him. Says, Keith tried to stage a return to television a few years ago, sending a 5,000-word dissertation-style email to former NBC Universal CEO Jeff Shell, randomly begging for a job, and Shell said no. Well, there's something MSNBC did right. Says, Olbermann does, however, have a new hobby, rage posting comments to strangers. Yeah, he's just a jackass. Anywho, the several ESPN commentators also received votes. Elle Duncan was a popular pick. I've heard of her. I've seen. I think I've done a couple. Maybe I have, or I've seen a couple of videos about her, but I've never actually watched her. But I know she's your typical race baiter. It says, interestingly, I can speak. Joy Reid is one of Duncan's idols. Oh, of course, that makes now it all makes sense. Hence the frequently racist remarks about white men. And it says Clay Travis here, who, if you don't know, is actually the boss at Outkick. So his embedded tweet here says, ESPN employee says stupid thing. Overwhelming majority of sports fans of all races call out her stupidity. Her response, white men are so mad at me, are mad at me, so I just 100%, Jesus, I can't read that sentence. White men are mad at me, so I 100% did the right thing. Wow. Okay. It says, yikes, ESPN, you got to fire some of these dumb race baiters like L. Duncan. Awful look. And it says, when your comments look like this, I'm not sure what you did, but it was the right thing. Okay. Anyway, so it says, in terms of hateful and racist rhetoric, ESPN's Mark Jones is the most natural successor to Reid's throne. However, Jones isn't nearly relevant enough to inherit the title. Nevertheless, here are some of Mark Jones' ex-posts from the past few years. And before I hit these bullet points, I'm going to take a swig of a drink. There we go. All right, let's get on to it. Deep breath. It says, baseless accusations that stadium police officers were going to shoot him dead because he is black. Tweets telling Rush Limbaugh to rot in hell the day after his wife announced he had died of lung cancer. Yeah, I'm sorry. Right off the bat, if you're doing that, and basically crapping on people because they're dead and doing stuff like that, like you deserve to be in HE double hockey sticks there yourself. Like you're just a shit person. So keeping on with Mark Jones did, says lies about the police murdering Jacob Blake, who is still alive. Yeah, he was murdered, but he's alive and well. Post calling Stephen A. Smith Jesus Christ. I'm not even going to finish saying that word. I don't remember that, but come on, man. Post telling his white colleagues and bosses blind to racism in front of him. Can you give us any examples, Mark? No, you can't, because it's not a thing. Tweet celebrating Nick Bosa tearing his ACL as payback for standing for the national anthem and supporting Donald Trump. Oh no, conservatives exist. Claims that the Batman character is rooted in racism, so he doesn't actually know anything about Batman. Photo saying MAGA women are skanks. No, they're not. Claims that Governor Ron DeSantis is a member of the KKK. He's not, and that should be defamatory. And if DeSantis, I know he's not going to. He's too classy for that, but he should sue the guy because that, again, is defamatory. And claims that Aaron Rodgers is a member of QAnon. He's not. Statements that white people appropriated Jesus. I don't think that's that far off, but I disagree with his statement. Says debunk claims that the police shot Breonna Taylor when they saw her skin color and they never saw her. So it'd be kind of hard to shoot someone because of their skin color that you don't actually see. A tweet from Bishop Talbert Swan that white people are demonic forces of evil. Yeah, this dude, this Bishop guy, he's that dude is like a massive racist. Anyway, says a tweet comparing Jason Whitlock, by the way, who's black, says to a house slave from the film Django Unchained. I remember that too. Yeah, Jason Whitlock's a black conservative. He's a sports commentator too, so that's why Mark Jones probably did that. Thought he could probably hit Jason Whitlock like that. So his tweet's calling Queen Elizabeth a racist on the day she died. Yeah, so this dude is just, yeah. Says all that to atone for having a white wife. Yes, I did not know he was married to a white person. Well, I wonder if his wife knows that he's a virulent racist against white people. So it says, is Jamel Hill on TV? Asked Grandma Winslow. Says not really. Her true TV shows draws fewer than infomercials at 2:30 a.m. on Tuesdays. Still, Hill recently called white men the worst thing in America. So if white men were to just, leave America, what do you think would happen? If you want to know what would happen, well, there's any number of examples out there you can go look at, right now. Anyway, it says those damn white men. It says, by the way, Hill also stands with Joy Reid on Blue Sky, because of course she does. Birds of a feather and all that. Imagine their group chats. I don't want to do that. It says, of course, the ladies of The View have to be considered. And while quite a few commenters voted for Whoopi Goldberg, the feeling here is that Sunny Hostin is the leader of the pack. See her post-election week of rage. And I will have a video coming out shortly about Sunny Hostin and some stuff that she said. And by the way, Whoopi's name does not have an E, her first name. And by the way, if you didn't know this, Whoopi's actual real name, because, she's not Jewish and everything, and her name isn't Whoopi, her real name is Karen. Yeah, she's an actual Karen. I think it's Karen Johnson or Jackson, but anyway, it's Karen. Anywho, let's go on to the next part. It says, Hostin responded to Trump's victory by calling Latino men sexist, white women uneducated, America deeply racist, black Republicans an oxymoron, and conservative white women roaches. So, this is a pleasant person we're dealing with. This is a what about white men. Hostin also claimed that America treats black people similar to how China treats Muslim Uyghurs, whom the government is committing genocide against. Yes, because, all those black people that are locked up in camps right now and being forced to re-educate and are being, as the article says, genocided. Yes, those are clearly the same things, you absolute moron. So as for CNN, it's difficult to take the candidacy of anyone there seriously. They generate such little buzz we don't know much about them. Granted, some of those Marxian imbeciles debating Scott Jennings are rather cringe and stupid. And what's this a link to? So here, oh, Carrie Champion. Yeah, she's another idiot. Yeah, but going up against Scott Jennings on that channel and on that program is just, you're in for a bad time. Anyway, it says, here's Brian Stelter trying to explain to Americans why they should support giving more money to Ukrainian Vladimir Zelensky, who is still trying to jail his political opposition like a vile dictator. And as of the time that this happened, the little blow up at the White House hadn't happened yet, or I should say the article. By the time the article was written, the blow up hadn't happened yet. The Comfortably Smug, an account you should definitely follow. So CNN's resident idiot Brian Stelter blames lack of support for Ukraine funding on illiteracy on the part of the voters. Yes, because remember, that's all the liberals think, is that if you don't stick with them and all their causes, then you're dumb. Okay, never mind that they're wrong about everything. Says other names that received votes included Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, and Jeffrey Toobin. Toobin doesn't compare to the other two, but Kimmel's definitely at the top of the list of those three for sure. So the question on Toobin was worst person on TV, not Zoom. If you don't know that story, I'd say go look it up, but careful. So it's just for clarity. As for Kimmel, not a bad choice. Ultimately, we have to lean towards Sunny Hostin. Yes, I was right. She's going to be the next worst person on TV. Victory. It says, we aren't even sure Joy Reid could accomplish the feat of disparaging every non-black group in America in 1 week. Hostin did. And her catty, mean girl scorn just makes her all the more unpleasant. For someone who so often rails against skin color and pretty girl privilege, few pundits have benefited more from such privileges than Hostin. Honestly, if Hostin and Reid were not such bitter, bigoted half-wits, they might actually be pals. I guess that makes me think, like, I'm surprised that they're not actually friends or something like that. Yeah. So let's go ahead and leave it here. So who do you think is going to be the next worst person on TV now that Joy Reid is out of a job? Is it going to be someone else on MSNBC? Do you agree with me and the writer of this article that it will in fact be Sunny Hostin? I think that's a pretty safe choice, but it seems like a logical choice as well. Let me know in the comments below. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.